empezar. Y lo primero, vamos a hacer una pregunta a David, chicos. De hecho, justo antes de la llamada, yo le hice una pregunta a David, y la pregunta es, ¿cómo él mantiene su enfoque cuando cosas como por el estilo pasan, que alguien se va a la empresa o alguien decide hacer algo más? ¿Cuál es el enfoque de David? ¿Qué piensa David? So the question is, David, the same as asked you in previous to the call is, what is your focus when something like this happens, when someone leaves the company? What is your focus and what do you give energy to?
Yeah, you know, Danilo, I think that's a great question. I know you asked me before the call, and I told you, I said, no, you can ask the question to everybody on this call, because all of you are business partners. All of you are part of the IM family and going where it is that we're going. So I didn't want my response to be private. I want it to be public, so all of you can maybe see it from my point of view.
Y bueno, es muy buena pregunta y se la preguntamos antes, pero él no quería dejársela para él mismo, él quería compartirla para todos nosotros, porque todos acá somos socios de la familia de IM y él quería que fuera pública y que todo el mundo lo escuchara.
You know, I've been doing this now for 16 years, and I don't believe that I've seen everything, because I haven't, but I've seen quite a bit. I've seen things like this happen, and what I learned from my past experiences is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with what has happened. What has happened is something that is very, very normal. It's very natural. There's nothing bad about it at all. People, leaders that work with us for a year, 2 years, a day, 4 years, it doesn't matter. I'm very grateful for the time that we spend together. I'm very grateful for what it is that they brought to the company, and they're just making a decision to do something else. And if they decide that, they have to try and tear us down in order to build what it is that they're building, I have no problem with that as well, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're not going to leave and say, oh man, IM was incredible to me, or I made hundreds of thousands of dollars with IM, or I made millions of dollars with IM, and I'm so grateful. They're not going to say that. They're going to talk bad about the company. They're going to talk bad about the leaders, which is fine. What I do is I just send love to them. I wish them well, because I know, and listen to this, I know that my goals and my dreams and my connection to God, one person, 10 people, 100 people, 100,000 people, that's not going to stop what God is going to do in my life. So I don't feel any bitterness towards anyone who decides to lead this business. And I don't think that they're bad people for doing that either. If they choose to tear us down, try and tear us down, that's their choice, but it doesn't have any effect on me. Now, it did a long time ago, but I learned, and that's probably what some of you are going through right now, is that you're learning. It's not a big deal. It's not that they're not important. They're very important. They're people, and I love all people, but it's not, it's not a situation where I'm like, oh my God, no, I understand it, and I'm grateful for the time that we have, but I'm focused on the people that we are working with. I'm focused on you that's here, that says, hey, I want to go where it is that you're going, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Hopefully you can translate all that.
Yeah, I'll try to translate, man. Que vamos a tratar de traducir al gran David. Bueno, lo que él decía es que él tiene 16 años ya en la industria, ha visto prácticamente todo, también no puede decir todo, pero sí ha visto bastante, y ha visto y ha aprendido que no hay nada malo con lo que ha pasado. De hecho, es algo muy natural. Líderes van a venir, líderes se van a ir, ya sea que estuvieron un día, ya sea que estuvieron 3 años, no importa, siempre van a venir y siempre van a ir. Y tienes que entender que si alguien que se va está hablando basura o está hablando mal, ya sea de la empresa o ya sea de los líderes, es lo que se supone que tienen que hacer. O sea, ellos no van a venir y van a decir, wow, IM fue increíble, IM me dio millones de dólares, IM tiene increíbles servicios y me hizo mucho bien por 3 años. No, Ellos van a decir problemas, ellos van a decir cosas malas para tratar de que personas lo sigan por esas razones. Entonces, lo que hace David es que se enfoca y les manda amor, les desea el bien, agradece por el tiempo que ellos estuvieron, él realmente se siente agradecido por todo lo que vivieron, pero les manda amor. Mis metas, dijo David, mis metas y mi conexión con Dios no va a parar ni se va a detener por una, por 10, por 100 o por 1000 personas. Lo que él tiene, la conexión con Dios y la conexión con su meta, se mantiene intacta. Así que ellos pueden tratar de hablar mal, ellos pueden hacer lo que ellos quieran, pero aprendí y entendí a no tomármelo personal y a enfocarme en las personas que están, enfocarme en las personas que quieren crecer, enfocarme en las personas que quieren ir a un siguiente nivel.
That was all of that?
Yeah, I believe most of it, yeah.
Good. Very good. So yeah, that's, you know, when you look at, in business, you look at the football or you look at basketball, you know, Michael Jordan, he retired from the NBA, 17 years ago. So he left the NBA 17 years ago. The NBA is still in business today. As a matter of fact, the NBA has grown tremendously even after Michael Jordan. He's the greatest to ever do it. But the NBA is still here today. They're still growing. They're way bigger than what they were 17 years ago. So it's all about your ability to lead and stay focused on the vision and your desires. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk to you about how to really create a burning desire for success. I'm going to teach you some of the skills that you need to focus on, that you need to master, and then multiplying it by faith, because nothing great happens in this life without faith.
Así que tienes que verlo como un negocio. Por ejemplo, veamos la NBA. Michael Jordan se retiró de la NBA hace 17 años y la NBA sigue creciendo más que nunca. Ha crecido muchísimo de como estaba hace 17 años. Ahora, Michael Jordan ha sido uno de los mejores o el mejor, pero la NBA sigue creciendo. Entonces, eso se trata de mantenerte enfocado en la visión, de mantenerte enfocado en dónde vas. Y de hecho, eso es lo que les quiero hablar el día de hoy, chicos, es cómo crear un deseo ardiente, cuáles habilidades necesitas y cómo lo debes de multiplicar por fe, porque nada grande pasa si no lo multiplicas por fe.
You know, I really have no fear. I have no fear whatsoever when it comes to my goals, my dreams, where it is that I'm going. And I want you to develop that as well. I'm going to show you how I've been able to develop that, because you can either have fear or you can have faith, right? And I chose the path of faith. I chose to create the emotion of faith. And I'm going to show you how to do that today as well on this call.
Ahora, honestamente te digo, yo no tengo miedo de nada, no tengo miedo de que nada malo pase, porque me decido enfocarme en la fe. Acá tú puedes tener una de dos cosas, tú puedes tener o miedo o fe, y yo te voy a enseñar hoy cómo desarrollar la fe en ti.
And so, you know, I created a formula years ago called the success formula, and I want you to write it down. It's desire plus skill times faith. So desire plus skill multiplied by faith, that equals success.
Ahora, yo creé una fórmula hace unos años que te quiero compartir el día de hoy, y esta fórmula es la siguiente: deseo más habilidades multiplicado por fe te da el éxito.
Now, this formula works every time. It works every time. It works with any business. It works in any industry. When you look at Iván and Monica, when you look at Paloma, when you look at Danilo, you look at Juan Diego, you look at all the leaders, okay? Alejandro Bros, you look at all the leaders, okay? You look at leaders that are in the world, all right? You look at the Jeff Bezos, or Anybody that you know that's been successful, they have used this formula in order for them to get to where it is that they want to go.
Ahora, esta fórmula, chicos, funciona siempre. No solamente funciona para el negocio, funciona en cualquier negocio, funciona en la industria. Tú ves a Iván y a Mónica, tú ves a Paloma Sansores, tú ves a Danilo, tú ves a Juan Diego, tú ves a Alejandro Gross, tú ves a todos los grandes líderes, ves a Jeff Bezos. Ellos han usado esta fórmula que yo te voy a enseñar en este momento.
Okay. And but you have to really clearly define what success means for you. And in this business, becoming a chairman 10 or 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, 750, that's what has been decided that is success in this business. So you have to clearly define what that is for you and say, okay, my goal is to become a chairman. How do I go about utilizing this formula in order to become a chairman 10 or even become a chairman 750?
Ahora, tienes que definir qué es éxito para ti, porque puede ser chairman 10, 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, 750. Tienes que decidir qué es éxito para ti. Y eso es lo primero que tienes que hacer. ¿Qué es éxito para ti? ¿Cuál rango o qué nivel significa eso para poder aplicar esta fórmula a ese nivel?
Okay. So I'm going to start with desire, okay? Desire is the starting point of all achievement. And when you look at the definition of the word desire, it means to have a strong feeling. It means to have a strong feeling to have something.
Y vamos a empezar con deseo. El deseo es el punto inicial de todo logro. Ahora, el deseo lo que básicamente significa es tener un fuerte sentimiento, un fuerte deseo para la obtención de algo.
And so when I really study that word desire, and it says it's a strong feeling, I ask myself, how are feelings created? Where do feelings come from? And I learned that feelings come from our 5 senses.
Ahora, cuando tú dices, ok, deseo es un sentimiento. Ahora, ¿cómo se crea un sentimiento? Un sentimiento se crea desde los 5 sentidos.
Okay. So, when I see something, it creates a feeling. When you're watching me right now, right, there's a feeling that you have while you're looking at me right now. When you hear me, right, when you're hearing me, there's a feeling that's created as well, right? When you touch something, right, you touch your phone, right, there's a feeling that's created. When you smell something, that smells good, or that doesn't smell so good. It creates a feeling on the inside of you. When you taste something, right, that creates a feeling as well. So your 5 senses, all right, your 5 senses, if you're going to have a desire, a strong feeling for something, that means that you're going to have to use your 5 senses in order to create that strong feeling.
Ahora, los sentimientos es lo que nos dan, se producen por los 5 sentidos. Por ejemplo, cuando tú ves algo, cuando tú me ves a mí, eso te provoca un sentimiento. Cuando tú escuchas algo, eso te produce un sentimiento. Cuando tú tocas algo, eso te genera un sentimiento. Cuando tú hueles algo, dices, esto huele bien, o esto no huele tan bien, te genera un sentimiento. Cuando tú pruebas algo, eso te genera un sentimiento. Pero lo que tenemos que hacer es utilizar nuestros 5 sentidos para crear ese deseo, ese sentimiento.
So, I asked myself, I said, well, David, what's the strongest feeling in the world today? Right? What's the strongest feeling in the world today? And I answered the question, and I want you to put it in the chat. What do you think is the strongest feeling in the world today? Danilo, what do you think is the strongest feeling in the world today?
Ahora, yo llegué y me preguntaba, David, ¿cuál es el deseo más fuerte? ¿Cuál es el deseo más fuerte que existe? El sentimiento, the strongest feeling, right? Sí, el sentimiento más fuerte que existe en el mundo. Y quiero que escribas en el chat, Escribe en el chat cuál sentimiento es el que hay más fuerte en el mundo. Y David me pregunta, Danilo, ¿cuál tú crees que es el sentimiento más fuerte? I think, David, that it is fear, but I saw in one of your posts that it is like the feel to be needed.
Okay. The strongest feeling, okay, in the world today is really love. Okay? Love is the strongest feeling in the world. Now, people have the need to be needed, but really the strongest feeling in the world today is really love, or it should be love.
Ahora, el sentimiento más fuerte que existe en el mundo es el amor, o al menos el sentimiento que debería de haber en el mundo es el amor. Las personas, el deseo más fuerte que tienen las personas es el deseo de sentirse necesitados. Sin embargo, el que debería de haber es el amor.
Okay. So, Danilo, would you agree with me that love is probably the strongest feeling in the world today?
Yes, for sure. O sea, David pregunta, Danilo, ¿estarías de acuerdo conmigo que el amor es el sentimiento más fuerte que debería de ser hoy? Y yo le respondí sí.
So I want you to follow me on this. If you've ever been in love, or you love someone right now, okay, or think about the love between you and your mother, right? Think about the love that you have between you and your papa, your father, right? Think about what happened when, or maybe you have children, right? What happened when you first saw that baby? What happened when your parents first saw you, or maybe you're married, or you have a girlfriend or whatever, a boyfriend or whatever. You say, well, how did you feel when you first saw, right? When you first saw that person?
Quiero que me sigas en esto, y quiero que veas que el amor es el sentimiento más fuerte. Piensa cuando te has enamorado alguna vez. Piensa en el amor que tú le tienes a tu madre. Piensa en el amor que tú le tienes a tu padre. O si eres padre, piensa en ese sentimiento de amor cuando viste a tus hijos. O piensa en cómo se sintieron tus padres cuando te vieron por primera vez. ¿Ok? Ese sentimiento, o tal vez tienes novio o tienes novia, es cómo te sientes cuando piensas en esas personas.
So when you first saw them, and then what happened maybe, when you first heard them say something to you, right? Or maybe the first time you touched your baby, you held your baby, or the first time your parents held you and they touched you, or someone that you love right now, maybe the way she smells, and you just, smell, you just love the way they smell, or, and then, taste, I can't really talk about that, but taste, you have a taste in women, or you have a taste in men, or, those five senses, right, created the feeling of love. If you didn't like how they looked, if you didn't like how they sounded to your ears, if how they touched or how they smell, if that wasn't your taste, more than likely the feeling of love was not going to be created.
Ahora, ponte a pensar cuando tú escuchaste a tus padres o escuchas a tus hijos. O tal vez ese momento en el cual tocaste al bebé cuando tus padres te tocaron por primera vez. O cuando tú, por ejemplo, llegas y hueles a esa persona, eso te genera un sentimiento. Tal vez te gustó, tal vez no te gustó. Y no puedo hablar mucho de esto, dice David, pero cuando tú pruebas a una persona, ¿qué sentimiento te da? Entonces, si no te gustó cómo se veía, cómo se escuchaba, cómo huele, ¿verdad? No te va a gustar, no te va a generar un buen sentimiento.
So now, when you translate that into having a burning desire, a strong feeling for Chairman, every day you have to see Chairman. Every day you have to hear Chairman. Every day you got to touch it. Every day you got to smell it. What does the Chairman smell like? What cologne, what perfume do the Chairmans wear? Maybe I need to go buy that cologne, or maybe I need to get a sample of that perfume. Okay. you know, you start developing the taste of a chairman? A chairman eats at a certain place. A chairman stays at a particular hotel. A chairman dresses a certain way. You've got to now start developing those five senses, developing that burning desire for that goal. Same thing with a car. You know, do you go and smell the car? Do you go and touch the car? Do you go and see the car? Do you hear the car when you turn it on? Do you hear it? And then your taste in cars start to change. You know, I don't want a Toyota anymore. I want a Mercedes-Benz. And I don't want a Mercedes-Benz. I don't want a Bentley anymore. Now I want a Rolls-Royce. I don't want just one Rolls-Royce. I want two. I want three Rolls-Royces. Maybe I don't want a Rolls-Royce. Now my taste, hey, I want a jet. So things change as you continue to grow your desire.
Ahora, quiero que te empieces a enfocar. Cuando tú traduces eso, lo que acabamos de hablar, y vienes y lo traduces a un deseo fuerte, a un deseo ardiente, tienes que traducirlo a Sherman. Entonces, lo que tienes que ponerte a pensar es, ok, ¿cómo huelen los Sherman? ¿Cuál es la colonia? ¿Cuál es el perfume que usa un Sherman, que usa una H-Woman? Tengo que ir y pedir, tal vez me compro ese perfume, esa colonia, o tal vez llego y pido una muestra de ese perfume, ¿ok? O tal vez llega el chairman, ¿en dónde se quedan los chairman? ¿En qué hotel se quedan los chairman? ¿O qué es lo que ellos comen? ¿Qué es lo que ellos prueban? Es lo mismo con un auto. Cuando tú tienes un auto, es ok, ¿cómo se ve el auto? ¿Cómo se escucha el auto cuando lo prendes? ¿Cómo huele ese exterior del auto? Tal vez tú digas, no, ya no quiero un Toyota, ahora quiero un Mercedes. Tal vez digas, no, ya ni quiero un Mercedes, ahora lo que quiero es un Bentley. Ahora no quiero un Bentley, quiero ahora un Rolls Royce. Ahora quiero dos Rolls Royce. O ahora tal vez quiero un jet. Entonces, conforme vas creciendo, vas a ir desarrollando ese deseo por cosas mejores.
You're doing a really good job translating, Danilo. I understood that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
All right. So that's what you have to do. And over time, that desire will be there. Now, this is when it really connected with me. See, there's a verse that says that God will give you the desires of your heart. So when I learned that all I had to do was make my desires, get my desires from out there and get it into my heart, God was going to give it to me. Then I knew it was completely done. That's why I don't worry about if a person quits the business. I don't worry about if a person joins the business. I don't worry if a person fails in the business, because I know that if I get my desires in my heart, God is going to make a way to make it happen. Enough people are going to join my business. Enough people are going to be successful in the business. Enough people are going to go chairman. Enough people are going to become successful trading in order for me to get to where it is that I want to go. And then, depending on what my goals are, he's going to open up other doors, other opportunities, other investments in order for me to go where it is that my eyes are focused on.
Ahora, cuando yo me di cuenta de eso, y hay un verso que realmente hizo mucho clic conmigo, y fue, Dios te dará todos los deseos de tu corazón. Dios va a dar todos los deseos de tu corazón. Y cuando tú te pones a pensar en eso, yo digo, ok, lo único que tengo que hacer es tomar los deseos de donde sea que estén y ponerlos en mi corazón. En ese momento es cuando Dios me los va a dar. Si yo llego y tomo esos deseos y los pongo acá en mi corazón, Dios me los va a dar. Y van a llegar los líderes que tienen que llegar. La cantidad de personas que van a llegar. Van a llegar los traders que tienen que llegar. Van a venir las personas, van a venir eventos que tienen que pasar para que Dios me dé este deseo. Por eso es que no me preocupo de que alguien se vaya del negocio o de que si a alguien le va bien o mal en el negocio. No me preocupo en esas cosas porque sé que Dios me va a dar todos los deseos de mi corazón. Lo único que tengo que hacer es ponerlos acá en mi corazón.
So when you start to really understand that, that's when you now have freedom, right? Now you have freedom. You're not held hostage by what people do or what people don't do. And then now you need to start adding the skills. So you're doing both of it at the same time. You're developing your desire, and now you're adding the skills. And I'm going to share with you the number one skill that you have to master in order to be successful in this business.
Cuando tú entiendes eso, ahora eres libre. Ya ahora no eres esclavo de las circunstancias o las cosas que pasen, porque sabes que mientras esté tu deseo en tu corazón, Dios te lo va a dar. Ahora lo que tienes que hacer es añadirle las habilidades. Y en ese momento lo que te quiero dar es la habilidad número 1 que tú debes de tener.
Okay. And the number one skill that you have to master in order to be successful is the skill of communication. Okay? Communication is the number one skill that every successful person has mastered. Now, there's two types of communication. The communication that you have with yourself and the communication that you have with others.
Ahora, la habilidad número 1 que tú debes de masterizar es la comunicación. Todas las personas exitosas en el mundo han masterizado esa habilidad de la comunicación. Ahora, hay dos tipos de comunicación que puedes tener. El primer tipo es la comunicación contigo mismo y el segundo tipo es la comunicación con otras personas.
Communication is everything, because when you come to prospecting, you come to presenting, come to promoting for events, you have to communicate with other people. But most importantly, what are you saying to yourself every single day? Because this communication, auto-suggestion, that's what's going to create the emotion of faith. The only known method of creating the emotion of faith is through auto-suggestion. So what are you saying to yourself every single day? What are you confessing? And understand that this process takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You didn't become who it is that you are right now overnight. It took some time. So you've got to communicate the right things. When things go wrong, communicate the right things. I'm not going to allow the outside world to change the inside world. The inside world is what I'm saying to myself. The outside world is what the world is saying. Does that make sense? So, but now when I take what the world is saying and I make that what I'm saying, now what I've done is I've allowed the outside world to control the inside world. So my business is not going the way I want it to go on the outside. I'm going to speak. My business is growing. My business is exploding. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a chairman. I've got to communicate the right things to myself over and over again. So now I can be effective in communicating with other people. Because if I'm saying the wrong things to myself, even if I'm saying the right things to someone else, guess what? They're going to really hear what's going on the inside of me.
Wow. La comunicación lo es todo. Cuando tú estás prospectando, cuando tú estás presentando, cuando tú estás promoviendo, tú estás comunicándote con alguien más. Ahora, la comunicación más importante que hay es la que tú te dices a ti mismo, y eso se llama la autosugestión. ¿Okay? ¿Qué te dices a ti mismo cuando algo pasa? Tienes que entender que ese proceso toma tiempo. O sea, esto es algo que tú vas a dominar de la noche a la mañana. Pero, por ejemplo, cuando algo malo pasa, ¿qué te dices a ti mismo? Cuando cosas en el exterior pasan, ¿cómo tú llegas y lo traduces a ti mismo? Te lo dices de una buena manera. Por ejemplo, en el exterior, algo malo pasa. El back office no muestra los números. El negocio baja. Eso es lo que pasa en el exterior. ¿Qué tienes que hacer tú? Traducirlo al interior. Mi negocio está creciendo. Mi negocio va para arriba. Líderes llegan a mi organización. Feliz, agradecido y digo mi meta. Porque aunque tú trates de decirle cosas buenas a otras personas y comunicar el mensaje a otras personas, ellos van a escuchar lo que realmente está pasando en tu mente. ¿Qué es lo que tú te estás diciendo a ti mismo? Eso es lo que ellos van a escuchar.
So what you have to remember is that what you're saying to yourself is literally creating the outside world. So other people, when they're talking, they're taking their inside world and they're giving it to the world. They're projecting it to the world. Now you have to decide, okay? You have to decide what they're saying is this what I want to be a part of my world, right? And I made a decision a long time ago that I was only going to speak what it is I wanted into the world. I was not going to speak what the news was saying about the pandemic. I wasn't going to speak what people were saying about the business. I was going to speak what I wanted for myself. So you have to understand that the outside world is created by the inside world. The outside communication is created by the inside communication of that person.
Ahora, lo que tienes que entender es que lo que te dices a ti mismo es lo que está creando el mundo exterior. ¿Ok? Lo que tú realmente dices es lo que estás proyectando. Cuando una persona llega y dice algo, tú tienes que pensar, ok, ¿quiero que eso sea parte de mi mundo o no quiero que eso sea parte de mi mundo? Hace mucho tiempo yo empecé aquí y decidí solo hablar cosas que yo quería. Hace mucho tiempo decidí solamente decir cosas que realmente yo quería que pasaran en el exterior. Ok, tienes que entender que, ok, cuando pasa una noticia, ok, pasa la noticia, pasa la pandemia, eso es el exterior. Ahora, ¿qué me voy a decir yo a mí mismo de eso que pasa en el exterior? Tienes que entender que el mundo exterior se crea por el interior.
So when you've got the inside communication right, and you make that phone call to a prospect, and you call, and you're in a hurry. See, that's the key thing. When you make a call to a prospect, when you talk to a prospect, you've got to be in a hurry. You've got to be excited, right? And then you have to show value for what it is that we have. Hey, listen, I found a way, all right, for business-minded people to multiply their money, learning a skill set. I don't know if you qualify to be a part of it. I don't know, but we have a call that's happening at 7 p.m. I can invite you into the call if you're really serious about growing financially. If you are, I'll invite you to the call. If you're not ready, that's fine. I can only allow serious-minded people onto this call. So now, here's what I'm doing. I am now being in a hurry. I'm excited. I'm showing value for what it is that I have. And then now I'm taking it away. A lot of times people are begging people to get involved in the business. That's the wrong posture. My posture is, hey, listen, we've got something really powerful. I don't know if it's for you. I don't know if you qualify to be a part of it. What are they going to say? Oh, I qualify. I'm important, right? And they're going to want to get involved in the business. So how I communicate with people is stemming from the confidence that I have in myself because of the communication that I've had with myself over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Ahora, cuando tú llegas y estás hablando de manera, cuando tú te estás hablando a ti mismo de manera correcta, eso es lo que vas a venir y le vas a proyectar al prospecto. ¿Cómo es lo que decir? ¿Y la manera en la cual se lo tienes que decir? Tienes que decirle, mira, encontré una manera de multiplicar tu dinero. Ahora, no sé si esto sea para ti, no sé si califiques para esto, pero tenemos una llamada a las, no sé, 7 p.m., donde vamos a explicar los detalles. Ahora, solamente es para personas serias. Dime si realmente te quieres conectar a guardarte un campo. Pero lo que hago es que me muestro apurado, me muestro que no estoy ahí para perder el tiempo. Le doy el valor al decirle, encontré la manera de multiplicar tu dinero. Y se lo quito de vuelta teniendo postura, diciéndole, no sé si calificas, no sé si realmente sea para ti. Cuando tú le dices eso, tienes postura. Muchas personas andan allá afuera tratando de convencer o rogando a las personas y esa no es la manera correcta. No puedes rogar, no puedes tener esa postura. Entonces, como yo me estoy comunicando a las personas, es con postura por la comunicación interna que he tenido los últimos años.
And now, so when I'm presenting the business with confidence. I've humbled myself. I make sure I educate and I entertain in the presentation and I motivate to take action. But I'm consistent in how many times I'm showing the plan. I'm showing the plan 1, 2, 3 times a day. And I'm doing it over and over again. And then I'm promoting people to the virtual event. I'm promoting people to get on these events that we're doing virtually until we can open up the world and we can get back into conferences That's one of the things that I've missed the most in the last year. We haven't had a chance to really connect at a big event, but that's going to happen in 2021. So I'm excited about that. But the communication with yourself, communication with other people, that's the biggest skill that you have to master. And it's in prospecting, presenting, and promoting for events.
Entonces, cuando yo presento el negocio, presento con confianza. Yo me enfoco en educar, yo me enfoco en entretener y yo me enfoco en hacer que las personas lleguen y tomen acción. Y me enfoco también en hacerlo varias veces al día, 2, 3, 4, 5 veces al día. También me enfoco en promover a los eventos virtuales, promover con energía, ¿ok? De hecho, esa es una de las cosas que más extraño con toda esta pandemia, es poder conectar con personas en una conferencia ya presencial, pero eso va a pasar en el 2021. Estoy muy emocionado por eso, pero debes entender eso. La comunicación es la habilidad número 1. Comunicación en prospectar, presentar y promover.
Okay. So you got desire. You know how to create that desire with your 5 senses. You know what the skill you got to master: communication with yourself, communication with other people, right? Which is leadership. And then you got to times it by faith. Faith is having confidence, trust, hearing. That's how faith comes. It comes through hearing, but it works through love. So you get faith by hearing, auto-suggestion, but it's going to work in your life through love. How you treat people, how you talk about people, all these things are going to affect your ability to really have faith. So when people talk bad about your business, when people talk bad about your leaders, all right, speak good things about them. Don't join them and speak negative about them. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't think you should do that either. Okay. I'm not going to bash anybody for leaving. Okay. Just because we disagree doesn't mean that they're bad. Just because we choose a different path doesn't mean that they're wrong. Okay. Doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means that we're using a different vehicle to get to where it is that we want to go. Does that make sense? If you've chosen that, hey, I want to do business with Iván and Monica. I want to do business with Alex Moore. I want to do business with Christopher Terry. I want to do business with 𝗖𝗛𝗢𝗘𝗪. I want to do business with Danilo and Juan Diego and Paloma, David. These are the people that I want to do business with. If you practice this formula of desire plus skill times faith, and you give it time, I guarantee you it will work for you.
Ahora, ya sabes cómo crear el deseo. Eso es lo primero, el deseo, y ya sabes cómo crearlo. Luego tenemos las habilidades, que las habilidades es la comunicación contigo mismo y con otras personas. Luego tienes que venir y multiplicarlo por fe. Ahora, la fe es simplemente tener confianza y tranquilidad de que algo va a pasar. Ahora, vas a obtener la fe escuchando, por autosugestión, escuchando cosas, pero la vas a practicar cuando tú realmente amas y cuando actúas con amor. Cuando alguien llegue y habla mal, tú simplemente habla bien de ellos. Yo no hablo mal de nadie. Si alguien llega y decide hacer algo más, yo les deseo el bien, solamente porque estamos escogiendo un camino diferente. No significa que ellos estén equivocados, no significa que yo esté en lo correcto. Simplemente escogimos diferentes caminos. Si tú el día de hoy decidiste hacer negocios con Alex Morton, con Iván y Mónica Tapia, con David IMONITIE, con 𝗂𝐀𝐍𝐶, con Paloma, con Diego, con Danilo, con Alejandro, con Daniel Cueva, con todos los líderes, lo que tienes que hacer es practicar esta fórmula. Practicar esta fórmula, darle tiempo y te aseguro que eso va a pasar.
I want you to study this weekend. I want you to study the self-confidence formula. If you study it, you'll see that this formula that I just gave you, the success formula, is right there in the self-confidence formula. All right. And I'm super excited for each and every one of you, pumped up about 2020, closing out this year strong. Make sure you get your 10 customers. Make sure you get your 10 customers, 10,000 leaders. They get 10 customers by the end of this year. We're going to put 100,000 brand new customers into I Am Mastery Academy. I believe that Latin America should have at least more than half of that number should come from Latin America. I believe that you guys can do it. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm proud of you. each and every one of you, the work that you're putting in. It is astonishing. What our company has done, a lot of other companies are trying to do the same thing. And we wish them well, but we're the ones that proved that it actually works. And now people want to do what it is we're doing, and that's a compliment. So you guys did it. All right, you guys made it happen, and you'll continue to make it happen. Trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. You're going to see people that are part of this company are going to be worth $100 million, $200 million, $500 million, $1 billion. That's going to happen because of this educational platform that we have here at I Am Mastery Academy. It's the best of the best. I'm not saying that because I'm a part of it. I'm saying it because of what it is that we have and what it is that we've already accomplished. No one has done it in the last 4 years, and we're excited about the next 4, 8, 12 years that we'll have with this opportunity. So, Danilo, thank you for having me. Yvonne, thank you for inviting me on the call as well. And let's rock and roll.
Well, thank you very much, David. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. For real, for your wise words, man. You're the MVP. You're a legend, man. Así que bueno, chicos, David dijo al final, estudia la fórmula de la autoconfianza, estudia la fórmula de Napoleon Hill este fin de semana y vas a ver que realmente está, esta fórmula de David, del éxito, está dentro de la fórmula de la autoconfianza. Así que vamos por 10 nuevos clientes. Todos acá vamos por 10 nuevos clientes. La empresa va a crecer como nunca. Estoy muy orgulloso de todos ustedes en Latinoamérica. Les quiero decir que no ha pasado nada. No ha pasado nada aún. Se vienen cosas increíbles. Vas a ver personas en esta empresa que van a valer 100 millones, $1 billón, y lo digo con confianza, porque somos los mejores. Otras personas tratan de hacer lo que hacemos, pero les aseguro que les deseo éxito, pero nosotros venimos para quedarnos y venimos para dominar. Así que, familia, un abrazo, vamos con todo. Gracias, David, gracias a ustedes y a seguir conectados en la explosión.